So a friend and I recently watched R.L. Stine's The Haunting Hour, the TV show, not the movie, on Netflix, and I'm gonna be honest and say that it is the greatest show ever to appear on the platform. Along with that, I think I'm gonna one-up it and say that it is the greatest show ever to be on television, period. It's that good. It's that enjoyable. And nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about this. Like, they should. It has a wide variety of fun, spooky episodes, fun, silly episodes. Like, they all kind of have like a fun vibe to them. And I think that it is perfect to talk about in the Halloween season. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what I'm doing today. Okay. So R.L. Stine's The Haunting Hour, if you are out of the loop, is a Canadian-American horror anthology which began airing in 2010 and went until 2014. It had 4 seasons. The show itself, I'm gonna be like a bit transparent and say that it's a bit of a product of the times. Like, it's very cheesy in a lot of places, especially in the dialogue department. It's just completely dated, and I freaking live for it. It is so funny. It makes the funnier episodes even more funny, and it makes some of the creepy episodes not as creepy, but like still enjoyable. Like, it's fun. But if you're not a fan of excessive cheese, you're probably not gonna like it. My friend and I just watched like the first season, so I don't have much to say about the second season, but like, Creature Feature was great. I'd say the best. I'd say it's better than Lady had a terrible ending. I'm just gonna be frank. I'm gonna say that Creature Feature is the best 2-part episode in the series so far. I don't know. I haven't seen the rest of them yet, but it's the best one. It's definitely the best one. So funny. So I'm gonna talk about a couple more episodes in detail-ish, and in the end I'll give some recommendations for more episodes that I didn't end up talking about. But I'm gonna count this as a spoiler warning, okay? I'm gonna be talking about episode 15, Catching Cold, episode 17, Afraid of Clowns, and episode 4, Creature Stirring. So, like, this show, I think I talked about it earlier, their plots are always very, like, they always have good starting points, and it's really, like, me deciding on what episodes I want to talk about. It came into how memorable is this episode? Like, how about this is so memorable? Like, because it's so good, or because it's so bad it's good, like, that I could not talk about them? Really, that's kind of the vibes that we're going for here. Mostly I decided to focus on the weirder episodes, but there are a lot of just good spooky stories in the first season. So episode 15, Catching Cold. Catching Cold, this was the first episode I ever watched as a kid, and it freaked me out. Like, it left an impact. As an adult, I can still say it's a bit freaky, and my fear of ice cream trucks are still intact that this episode gave me all of those years ago. Yeah, this episode is about a kid on the hunt for a mystery ice cream truck that he sees but he's never able to catch. Ice cream trucks are kind of freaky if you think about it to begin with. They play creepy music, and they kind of just appear out of nowhere. Like, let's be serious. Ice cream trucks are so stealthy. Like, 1 second you're on an empty road, you blink, and there's some freaking ice cream truck playing the chime version of a random Christmas song for some reason. It's July. Why are you playing Jingle Bells? It's summer. I don't. Because, I want to think about how the year's almost over and I've achieved nothing. I approve. Tangent aside, but like, when he catches it, the last guy who caught it gets out after he's been locked inside for 30 years. 30 years! And it turns out the truck is sentient and needs a human soul to run, and the protagonist is the lucky winner. I mean, I guess the ending isn't so bad, because he gets free ice cream for the next foreseeable future, and God, I'm like actually hungry thinking about that. I want ice cream now, honestly. Just not from an ice cream truck, I'm gonna be honest. This episode was creepy. I'm not a big fan of the protagonist, but like, I think it kind of helped him in getting his just desserts. In all seriousness though, I don't look at ice cream trucks the same way after watching that. Like, ice cream trucks are such like an untapped territory. I say that, and then there's like, I know for a fact there are a couple of like ice cream truck themed horror stories. There's that Junji Ito short story. There's that horror movie that I don't remember off the top of my head. Now there's this. So, good episode. 10 out of 10. Episode 4, A Creature Stirring. So like, now if Catching Cold was the reason like I was interested in this show in the first place, A Creature Stirring is the whole reason I made this video. Even though this is a Halloween themed video, it's a Christmas theme story about a boy whose only Christmas wish is for Santa to bring his dysfunctional heckin' family back together. And ho ho ho, boy! No, that's dumb. And you best believe he delivers. By that, I mean a gremlin. He gives the kid a gremlin to burn down his house. Because nothing screams bringing your family together like setting your entire house on fire. I mean, it works. Like, I think the gremlin is a highlight I think it's definitely the highlight of the episode. I don't know if it's CGI or if it's practical effect. I think it's practical. I think it's actually a practical effect. I can't tell. I genuinely can't tell. I know the fire in that episode is... the house just turns green, except for the CGI fire at one point. And it is honestly like the funniest thing. Like the tree's green on one of the frames. And then they used a different frame for going back to the house again. And it was just entirely in black and white, except for the fire. It's so silly. I find that so silly. And along with the kid who seems to just revel in his parents' house, completely burning down. I mean, like, that's kind of tame for this series, but like, that's not the reason I made this episode. I wanted to talk about this. I want to talk about the greatest scene to ever appear in all time in in silver screen history. It is the best thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. I was howling for a good 20 minutes after that. That was it. So, I'm here to talk about Daddy Santa. Yes, the final scene of this episode is Santa not riding up on his sleigh. No, riding up on his red hot limo. He said, "For the reindeer, it's 2011. Give me that high baller life. Give me that red limo." He ain't even driving. He's too good for that. Like, he's the holliest, jolliest, big dick energy Santa Claus that I've ever seen, ever. Like, you know what we don't see? All of his Santa babies riding along with him. Like, and I think that it's, like, the best. That entire scene made it the best episode of the entire season. Like, it made it a joy to see. And I think everybody needs to watch that ending clip just because it is so good. Like, I mean that. It is so fucking funny. Like, it was, my only gripe is that they didn't play, like, some music to match. It was just some generic ass, like, royalty-free music. It needed something more. It definitely needed something more. Okay, and finally, episode 17, Afraid of Clowns. So episode 17, Afraid of Clowns. This episode is a gem. It's honestly a gem. And I think, you know when I said before that, like, it's kind of, a lot of the episodes in this series are kind of dated? This one, I think it's relevant in the year 2019. We'll get on to that. So, the protagonist, Christopher, is, deathly afraid of clowns. And, like, he's seen them his entire life, and he's just not having any of it. On his 13th birthday, a pop-up circus comes into town and is given a ticket by a girl that he has a crush on. And he needs to act like a normal person who's not afraid of clowns. And I short you not, he becomes a clown. He becomes a clown. One does not, and I think it raises some great questions. One does not choose to be a clown. One becomes one. It is destined at birth. It's like a separate species. What are clowns considered in this case? Like, what's different from normal people and clowns? This is is this a die a hero, live long enough to see yourself become the villain territory? Is calling people clowns in the year 2019 insulting to the actual underground clown people? People can look normal, but people can look normal, but honestly it's a facade for the real clown that they are inside. This episode raises a lot of questions to me, and it succeeds, and I think it succeeds in the keep you up at night factor. So, cause I'm totally losing sleep because of that. Like, this episode's a lot of fun too. Cause like in between, his parents are trying to tell him like, bitch, you're a clown. Like, you're a clown, kid. You're a clown. He's like, no, man. Like, they never get that far. They never get that far. Cause he's just like, no, I'm not having any of this. Leave me alone. I don't want to hear the talk. I don't want to have the birds and the bees talk right about now. And meanwhile, I was just like, you're a clown. You're a clown. That's it. You're a clown. This is the episode that, like, whenever I would try to get people to watch this show, this was always the one that showed up. Like, it was never, like, any of the good creepy ones. It was always, you're a clown, kid. So, like, that's also why it sticks out in my memory as, like, a weird episode, because it's definitely one of the more goofier episodes with, like a fun ending. But, like, it makes sense. Like, their parents are just like, we want to show you our clown lifestyle. The kids just scream, he's not ready for the clown lifestyle. Was there a kid? Okay, so there has to be a kid then that was just like, that was living for the clowns, right? And he was just like I can't wait to be 13 so I can become a clown. I love the questions. Like, I don't think it's as good as Daddy Santa in his red hot limo, but like, I think it was one of the Hummer limo. It was a Hummer limo too. God damn it, Santa. Like, I don't think it's on par by that level, but I still think it's a great episode. Nonetheless. So, these are some of the more standout episodes I like. I think every episode has something interesting and fun for the most part. But here were a bunch more that I wanted to talk about, but didn't, because I didn't want this episode to be an hour long and a bitch to edit. So, my standouts are any of the 2-part episodes. Like, they're all great. Lily D, that doll is terrifying. Scarier than the Annabelle doll. Like, to be honest, that doll's not creepy. Like, the Lily D, though, terrifying. It has, like, this weird uncanny valley level to it that's just like, ugh, you know? Scary Mary. Scary Mary was good. Both parts of Scary Mary were interesting, to say the least. Not a big fan of the ending. I think that's the problem with the 2-part episodes. The endings are never that great. Like, Lily D ended terribly. Scary Mary, I think could have been better. Creature Feature, though, actually had a good ending. I enjoyed it. That was like, oh wow, that actually makes sense. And not, I'm gonna get hit by a truck. Black mask, wrong number, lights out, a dead body, and a ghostly stare. And with that, I think I'll leave it at there. I hope everyone enjoyed my fun little rant tangent thing. I'm probably gonna go watch and finish the 2nd season. I should have another video out for like Halloween, so I hope you're prepared for that. With that, I no artist of the week this week. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Thank you. Goodbye.